Hello and welcome to the Kansas Missing and Unsolved podcast. I'm Ricky Tabruggi, and back with me tonight it is my co-host Ashley Duff. How you doing, Ashley?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
Surviving the windstorms?
Well, yeah, barely. Don't go outside.
Right,
It's
right.
it's pretty bad.
It is.
Bad. Is it getting bad there yet?
It hitting about 50 or so up here. Last I
hmm
checked.
I think we've had anywhere from 50 to 70 mile an hour gusts. So
Yeah. So everybody
yeah.
out there, be careful in the wind, and all you guys out there, all you truck drivers out there on the highways, be really careful.
Oh, no kidding. Absolutely. Yeah, please do.
Hello, Lisa. How are you doing tonight? Glad you can make it to the show. And tonight we're going to try something a little different tonight. We're going to cover, our usual cases, but we also have a special guest with us tonight. Annette Lawless from KAKE News is joining us here in a little bit.
hmm
So we're going to go ahead and get started with covering our first case tonight. Ashley, who are we doing first?
We are doing Desiree.
Okay.
Desiree Ann Ferris. Desiree went missing out of Liberty, Missouri on May 1st of 2017. Desiree was 18 years old at the time. She would now be 21 years old. She is 5'1", weighs approximately 101 pounds, has brown hair and brown eyes. If you have any information about Desiree's disappearance, please call Liberty, Missouri Police Department at 816-439-4701 or call in any tips to 816-474-8477. There is a reward of up to $12,500 for any information leading to the arrest and conviction of the person or persons responsible for Desiree's disappearance. Now, some interesting things I found out about Desiree's disappearance. On May 1st of 2017, Desiree and her sister were picked up by a gentleman from their home in Liberty. They spent majority of the day together visiting abandoned houses known for drug activity. Around 4:30, this gentleman dropped the girls off at a McDonald's in Kansas City, Missouri. From there, a different man picked them up and took them to a different McDonald's in Liberty. This man had been in and out of prison a lot. Some say Desiree's sister was dropped off at home, while others state that she got out of the car at the Liberty McDonald's, while Desiree drove away with the second gentleman. Desiree was supposed to be dropped off at a friend's house, but never arrived. She instead went to the second man's home that is located in Kansas City, an area known for high-risk drug activity. Around 1 a.m. on May 2nd, Desiree texted her sister to let her know she was on her way home. 1 hour later, she made a call to an unknown number, someone she texted a few hours later. Before she sent that text, she had logged into Facebook. And there have been many searches for Desiree. That's all I know about her case right now.
Yeah, I know they've done a lot of drone searches, foot searches.
Yes.
I follow the Desiree pages and group and seen where they've gone into places I sure wouldn't want to go.
Oh, me neither at all. No. So, if anybody knows anything or, has any information, please, reach out, to Ricky's page, to my search group page. Please call, Liberty, Missouri Police Department again at 816-439-4701, or you can call any tips in at 816-474-8477.
Please, no matter how small you think it might be, please call it in.
Yeah, we hope she's safe and sound, and so we just please call anything in.
Yes, definitely. Okay. Do we want to go ahead and move on to?
Yes, we do. To
Nori?
Nori. Mm-hmm.
Okay, go right ahead.
Okay, Nori Jenkins went missing from Topeka, Kansas. She went missing July 20th, 1986. Nori was 51 years old at the time. Nori would now be 85 years old. She is approximately 5'2" and weighs approximately 115 pounds. She has black and gray hair and brown eyes. Nori did walk away from the Topeka State Hospital, and previous to her disappearing, she had been homeless, and she does have mental issues, I learned. So if anyone knows anything about Nori and her disappearance, please call the Topeka, Kansas Police Department at 785-368-9247 or 785-368-9551 or 785-368-9200 or KBI at 785-296-4017.
Yeah. Yep, she's been missing for quite some time.
It's a long time.
Yeah, nearly 34 years.
I know it.
Yeah.
Need to get her home. So get some answers there.
Yeah, that's sad.
It is. It's very sad. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, let me see if we can't. Let's see if we can't get our special guest to join us here momentarily.
Okay.
Let's see here, hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully she should be here momentarily.
Yeah, she'll be here, but
yeah, hopefully, it's like I said, it's Annette Lawless from KAKE News. She reported for KAKE News. She does the missing in Kansas segments for KAKE. I believe it's 6 in the morning and 5:30 in the afternoon. She's done that for quite a long time, and I'm really excited about having her on the show.
Yes, so am I. Yeah. Done some work.
She's getting ready to join us. Hello, Annette. How are you doing?
Hey.
Hi guys. I'm just trying to get my earphone stuff to work. I just don't want the audio to bounce off of here. I don't know if it'll work though.
Oh, it'll be fine. We'll make do.
Yeah, we'll make do.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Oh my gosh. It's good. You two are some of the best advocates in the community, so it's always nice to see you.
Oh, you're awesome. Thank you. So are you.
So are you.
We appreciate what you do.
Thanks.
Yeah, it's been a while. How have you been?
I've been pretty good. It's just this time of year in the TV business is a little hectic. So to have things like the pandemic and then all of the action with the Black Lives Matter movement, it's just been very consuming in a good way. But I mean, focusing on important issues. But I'm still trying to make sure that we don't neglect things like missing in Kansas and other things that are also very important. So.
Yeah, good. Good.
Yeah, and I also was going to real quickly here, since I can find it. Some congratulations are in order your way, because you were nominated for an Emmy Award. Is that right? Edward R. Murrow?
Yeah, I got a nomination just this past week for an Emmy, and it's for my work with Missing in Kansas. Very competitive, and we'll find out in a month if I happen to win that award. And I also got an award from the American Legion. They have this national contest every year. And I earned their 4th Estate Award. It's a big award. They pick one broadcast winner out of the whole country. And they happened to pick my work with Missing in Kansas. So I got a call.
Very nice.
Pretty cool.
Awesome. Yeah, some big congratulations there.
Absolutely.
And hopefully you'll get that Emmy too.
Well, I hope So, but I mean, I talked about it with you, Ricky. I kind of feel like as a community, we all really support one another and help provide tips and guidance on different cases. And I mean, even the cases that you guys were just talking about, like Nori and her case, I mean, I kind of feel like we all kind of gathered that information and shared it within our community. And we're just hoping to revive some of those old ones. And that's what I think it is just, I mean, even though I'm nominated or I've won some awards, I feel like we have all certainly earned it because it is a team effort in the community. Everyone who shared on your Facebook page, I mean, my gosh, we wouldn't be where we are right now if we didn't have the people sharing these stories for us.
Right. I just did a flyer yesterday for a young man named Christian Fitch. And I don't know if everybody saw it, but I updated he was located safe.
Yeah.
But his particular flyer, it shared over 2,000 times.
Oh my gosh.
One of my better ones that really flew around, and I understand that his flyer was what actually led to him being found.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was really cool. I was told that it got parents talked to their kids started getting a hold of him, and eventually he was located. So it was just kind of it was really cool. But how long have you been doing the Missing in Kansas segments now?
So I've been doing them. I started it a couple years ago, almost this summer at KAKE. So we're getting pretty close. I like it. It's been a really good project.
Yeah. And how many? I think I saw a number the other day. How many have you featured now?
More than 500. I need to go through read through the totals for sure, but I know it's more than 500 because of all the other stuff we're doing at work. I keep a log of everything. I have my own database to track all the stories and such. And I know it's well over that, but I mean, it's kind of cool. I mean, it was just an idea that I came up with. I pitched it to my boss and he was like, well, do you think we have enough missing people in our state to go and do this? And I'm like, absolutely. It's,
yeah, definitely.
I think we do. I'm like, I think we have more than enough for every day. I think we have enough to do like 5 a day. I mean, it's
yeah. That's really cool. You got any questions for her, Ashley?
I do. Annette, what are some of your favorite positive outcome stories?
I think the best stories or the best things that have come from the series, I was just getting contacted by families who, I mean, even if it's a family who still has a loved one who's missing, and I know you all get this through your different avenues of sharing and everything online, but hearing from people who haven't had a chance to tell their family member story, I mean, it's incredible to be able to give them the outlet of giving them that voice in a way that they never have, or to revive their story. So like maybe 20 years ago, it was a big thing, but we really haven't touched it since. And so I think that kind of captures the spirit of a part of this series that I love, but also the part with, I mean, that kind of with Ricky, with Kansas Missing and Unsolved, you share stuff so often. And I do too, the runaway youth. We have a lot of kids in our community that I feel like really need to be wrapped with love and
definitely.
And we need to hold our programs and our system accountable as well. And so by sharing their stories that way, I think is good. And I've been reached out not just by police, but also by judges who say that they handle the cases of a lot of these kids who are in foster care and say, you know, what we're doing here as a community is making a difference. Like they are seeing that result. And I got that like an email from a judge down here in South Central Kansas about a couple months ago about that. I was like, that's cool.
That's wonderful.
That is cool. That is cool.
You know, I mean,
Very
like,
cool.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
I'm turning up my volume just a little bit. I just don't want an echo for people who are watching.
Right.
I was going to say the start of Missing in Kansas for me, the inspiration behind it all really started with work that I had years ago. So I'm from Kansas. I'm a Kansas native. I'm from Wellington. But years ago, when I worked in Cleveland, Ohio, we had kind of like the story of a lifetime. It was the miracle story that I don't think we'll ever see again. And that was when 3 women who were held captive were found, and they were found more than 10 years after they were held captive. And that's Michelle Knight, Amanda Berry, and Gina DeJesus. And I mean, their story even today, I mean, 2020 just recently did a story with all the 3 women and their story of survival. And I know they've come so far and they're doing great things for the missing persons community. It is like so cool to see what they're doing. But my station back in Ohio, they launched a missing person series. And I'm like, that's kind of cool. And I thought about it for a while. I'm like, maybe we could do something here. But I feel, bad. I didn't really push for anything until 2018. That spring, that winter, was when we had the story of Lucas Hernandez in our community. Yeah. And I think Lucas's story, I don't know how much it changed your page, Ricky, but I'm sure the interactions on here were just out of this world big. Everyone was touched by his story.
Yeah.
Lucas is why I got into searching. Yeah, I think you and I talked about that before.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But to see how people reacted to his story. And just, it was months of searching. People were out in the Sedgwick County Park. Or all these different parks in town, and they were looking and they were going in fields and they organized all these searches. And it was just like, wow, people really, our community, this is our son and we are going to, and I just thought, we have to do this. So that's really what pushed me into overdrive with creating Missing in Kansas. So I'm glad I did it. Unfortunate circumstances on both ends for the inspiration, but there is a need. So, and there are people that support it.
And sadly, there's more cases like Lucas's than there need to be. Definitely. The most recent one that comes to my mind is Gannon Stouch up in Colorado.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. They found his body in Florida, under a bridge in Florida. That's just crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. The interesting little parts of that was when they were extraditing her back to Colorado. They had to stop here in Salina with her because she managed to get her hands out of the cuffs, and she apparently attacked a deputy, and he had to be treated at the hospital. So they had to book her in Saline County Jail for a little bit while he got treated. And after he was treated, they got her back out and took her back on up to Colorado. And I just saw the other day where she tried to launch an escape plan from there. So she's not done yet. But you were kind of touching a little bit on the runaway aspect of it, and I get a lot of comments and messages asking me, why do we bother with the runaways? Why do we cover the runaways? And have you been asked that and approached about that?
Just about every day. Yeah. It kind of bums me out when I get those messages, and I feel bad because sometimes I might get a little defensive when people do message me about them, but kids run for many reasons, and some people, I think the most counteractive folks are usually on Twitter, and they'll message me and say, well, how do we know they're not being abused or running from something bad? And I'm like, you know what, we don't know. But my hope is that by finding them, we can look into what's happening in their lives, and also to know that kids typically run for a myriad of reasons. So it's not necessarily something abusive. It's not necessarily them just running away to go and be with a boyfriend or a girlfriend. It can be a lot of things. They can have suicidal tendencies, and we don't know. They can be at risk for certain things. Maybe they're, LGBTQ tend to be very highly at risk in regards to runaway youth. Yeah, definitely. So those type of things are things that I think about. I'm like, I don't really care why. We'll find that out later, but I want to just find out where. So
you need to make sure they're safe.
Yeah, and I always try to. Annette, you went mute. I don't know how, but you turned off your mic.
Sorry,
there you go.
Mute, so then I don't know if there's an echo, so I didn't want to make an echo. I don't know.
But for me, another one of the reasons that I do it is to try to keep them out of hands of predators or traffickers. Like you guys on KAKE covered a story about that guy, that 26-year-old guy that was arrested for raping a runaway girl that ran away from a foster home. Yes, I keep hoping that by doing what I'm doing, that I can keep somebody out of one of those kind of person's hands. It's one of my hopes and prayers. It's tough. These kids just, they think they're untouchable and things like that. And some of them have to sadly find out the hard way. That's not true, but, and I hate that they have to, I have 2 teenage daughters myself, and I'm constantly talking to them about that stuff all the time. And they're like, I know, Dad. So I keep telling them, well, I have to talk to you guys. I have to make sure you understand that, now that you're getting to where you're messing with social media and internet, it's not all fun and games. You've got to be careful. I said,
And
just,
it's pretty sly too.
Yeah,
The methods
Right.
of what people do, and I don't even know the best of them, but I mean the way that they pretend to be your friends and all these different things. It's just like, oh my gosh, you can really get hooked. And I was talking to a Wichita officer recently who handles, sex trafficking cases, who handles these cases with teens, and he's like, I've seen it where a teen in a couple of days gets into the hand of a sex trafficker, and it may not be as frequently. I mean, maybe not be what we see in the movies or what we're seeing, we're like, oh, every kid that goes online is going to be lured into it. They're not, but there are cases where kids can be very well manipulated, and we just need to have them on their guard, as well as the parents too.
Yes.
When you're dealing with this kind of a subject matter, does it ever get to you? And I mean, how do you compartmentalize it? I can't even talk.
I think for everyone,
It's a big word.
Yeah. I mean, I think you all feel it too. I definitely think it does take its emotional toll on you. I feel like these kids are my kids. I mean, I've mentioned to Ricky in messages before, I'll look at a picture and I'm like, oh my gosh, this kid really has grown up, because we've covered their case for the past couple of years. And we've seen them move within maybe the foster care system or wherever they are. And you come very attached to them. And like I said, sometimes I get really defensive when people go and they kind of knock down all this work and effort of just making sure that people are safe. So it's hard. It really can be.
It is.
Yes.
Especially on those occasions where they're not found safe, when they're found deceased. Fortunately, hasn't really been very many kids, thankfully. But I mean, when anybody's found deceased, it's hard. I've questioned myself. What could have I done different? Could have I shared it in one more place or something like that? But it's hard. It is.
It is. It is. Yeah. And that, before I forget, I want to just, you said earlier that it takes everyone, the whole community, to bring these people home, and Ricky, makes flyers. We all share them. You, advocate for these victims and the kids, and really get their faces and names out there. We have boots on the ground. It truly does take everyone, but thank you for what you do, because you are such a huge part in helping bring these people home. So
you are. Thank you. Yep, we're all in this together. That's for sure.
It is a team effort. I mean, it is a family.
It is. Yeah. Like Annette was saying, she's always real good about, especially on Twitter. I always get my Twitter notifications says Annette Lawless retweeted, and it's like, okay, so I see that a lot. So thank you for doing that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you post so much, and the thing that's different between Missing in Kansas and Kansas Missing and Unsolved is that, I mean, Ricky, you share things continuously as they happen. And I mean, the way that you do it is incredible, because I know that you have a busy, I don't even know how you go and do all the flyers, but I imagine like the minute you get home from your work day, or the minute you have a chance, you just crank out those things. I think it's wonderful because it's very immediate. And for me, with the segment that I do at KAKE, we just do it during the week. I would love to have it daily, but I think just during the week, it kind of helps right now with us managing the segment as best we can. But we do share stuff more often than that. It's just we share something every day. So we share one story a day. So I keep it singular if we can. Unless there's something big, like recently the young Wichita woman who
Savannah
Schneider.
Kind of maze-ish, but her story. And that's one we've been telling a lot more frequent lately, because police, I just got a call from police today about, they want to see if I can get involved a little more with it and see if we can really push for some more community response. I know they offer a reward for information.
Cool.
But they want to
my brother alerted me to the fact that there's a reward of up to, I think, $1,000 for information on her case.
Yes.
So I'm going to update her flyer and add that information too.
Well, that's good. Yeah, another thing for you to do. I'm sorry.
Right. I was going to do that earlier. I just hadn't had a chance to do it yet, but I am going to do it. But I'm hoping they do find her safe. Another one I've been following is that body they pulled out of the river down there in Sumner County. That was interesting, because I know initially it was reported that the body was found in a gun safe, but then the sheriff wouldn't verify that, but said a box was involved. So I don't know. Just waiting to find out if
I'd
it's
be
one of our
interested.
missing that we have out there.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I mean, and they've had another one up in the kind of like that. I mean, not necessarily that specific area, but in the river recently. So I don't know what it
Wow.
is. All these people fishing because of
Yeah.
summertime and the pandemic and everything else. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Hey, Annette, are there any cases that we haven't covered that you would like to see us cover on our podcast?
Oh gosh.
Any come to your mind? Not putting you on the spot, but just in mind.
You know, I don't know. I mean, like for me, a big focus is, and you guys do it pretty well, is making sure like the cold cases are included in there. I try to include a cold case in my rotation every week, just because, again, those families, and I feel bad. Like there was one that I shared this past week, and unfortunately, like with the information that I gather from like maybe the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children or the Department of Justice on NamUs, when I go and access databases, sometimes that information is old. So I'll go and I'll verify stuff with police. And I did with the case on this woman, Kim Carden, who went missing from Leavenworth back in 2004. And so I saw her information. What I do is I look like at the Department of Justice website, I look on there and I'm like, okay, here's some older cases that I can check out. But because I don't trust a lot of information that's old, I'll go and verify with the police department and say, is this still active? And they said, they're like, yeah, this is still like an open case, but it's not active because they just don't have any leads. So I went and I'm like, well, we'll put it out there. We'll see what happens. And then actually one of the family members had contacted Ricky, and they contacted me today, Ricky. And, I had some conversations with them. So unfortunately, I mean, I wish I could get in contact with family directly before I do anything. But on the old cases, sometimes it's the reverse. So that's kind of hard because I know it came out of the blue for them and probably stirred so many emotions, but there's really no good way around it. So. And
I want to get her on the lineup for next week's show and get her featured next week.
That would be great. Yeah. I think that would be really great. And I know her family. I was searching some stuff, and I'll send you links to whatever. But there are more pictures, more information than I think we have initially. So that's awesome.
Yeah, because I'd be glad to add more photos over to the flyer. I'd be glad to do that. I mean, like you were saying, family member of hers got a hold of me and said, nobody's put anything out about her in 10 years. And I was like, wow, 10 years, really? That's a long time.
That's too bad.
That's tough because she had a lot of kids. So for them to not have, to not have their mom pretty much their whole lives is a lot. A big burden.
It is. And there's really not much information on her case, really. I mean, as far as where she was last seen, what she may have last been doing, or anything like that, it was very, very scarce.
Yeah, and that's the other part that is challenging for me. And I don't know how forthcoming, like police, certainly family is probably way more forthcoming for you all. But for me, for police, sometimes the most information that I have is exactly just the information of the name and when they went missing and where, and that's it. And I feel sometimes really foolish to just share that much. But again, sometimes it's that spark that starts the fire.
Right.
And so I hope, and in this case, it worked because we got family who have contacted, and I'm going to see if I can do more for Kim and her family and seeing what happened to her. So fingers crossed.
Yes. Good luck.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Now, I know you've done some in-depth stuff with some of the missing persons cases you've covered. Do you have any more of those kind of things planned for the future?
I have one case that I started working on it, and it's just the pandemic really threw us off. I'll tell you, I had all these stories that were filmed and planned, not just for Missing in Kansas, but for other projects at work. And just because of the demands of the pandemic, I haven't taken a day off work this whole year, and it's fine, but it's just like I've been just trying to commit to all these different things. So I have one project in mind, and I already interviewed the family for it, and it was such an emotional interview, and I think it's going to be a really good story to tell. And it's, again, one of those that nobody's really talked about it for probably 10 plus years. So to be able to give them that chance and hopefully find, because they're certain that he died, but hopefully to be able to locate his body is their goal. And they just want to lay him to rest. So they can all just be at peace with everything. And I mean, if we could do that, that'd be amazing.
And then any time that, family does not have help, in searching and whatnot, you don't even have to call or text me first. Just give them my phone number, because we're on a few different cases right now, along with Megan's, of course, but we're happy to help.
Yeah. I would like to one day collaborate better resources, because I've talked to different departments. Like there was a case up in Kansas City. Was it last December? I think Stargale Boomer, who they were searching for her body up in Kansas City, and I can't remember. They got some sort of tip, and I was talking to an investigator about it this spring before the pandemic. This investigator was supposed to go back to work, so I haven't talked to her since then. But they have a lot of volunteers who, not just advocates, but like volunteers who are a part of the digging and the searching, like these forensic experts that are just willing to give their time. And so I would love to find a way to collaborate with people to see if we can make resources like that available. Because the challenge, I think, for a lot of these cases, and granted, if you have a tip, or if you know where somebody's body might be buried, then you have a huge lead. But for some, it might just be a matter of going over a field with this certain type of equipment. But how much does it cost for that equipment? How much time does that take? Do we have to have police involved? All these things to think about. But once, I think, if we as a missing persons community can navigate through those logistics, I would love to be a person who helps field that to make that happen. Because I think that would, again, it's one of those things. Peace of mind would be finding the body, but also just knowing, like, okay, well, maybe this isn't where we thought this person is. So
exactly. Yes.
I think that would be so cool. So cool.
Yeah, it would. It would
Yeah.
be. Definitely.
Yeah. Well, definitely, you can throw us out there, Missing in Kansas, Megan's Voice, for any family or friends that need help or need assistance in finding their loved ones. So definitely do that.
Definitely. All right.
Well,
Any more? We have more questions for Annette tonight?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, thank you all. You all are just, I mean, like I said, to be here with you both, Ricky and Ashley, it's just such a pleasure. I've known you all for quite some time because of your passion for this community. And I think it's so important to have people who are advocates. And so, I mean, I might be one part of the equation, but there are so many other people like you, and the people who are watching right now who share those flyers and who comment and just, help engage in that conversation. I think that you all definitely deserve credit and need to be thanked as well, because it's just, this all couldn't happen without everybody being a part of that.
And you're right, it couldn't happen without everybody. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Yes. Well, thank you for joining us, Annette, tonight.
It was
a pleasure having you on the show, and maybe we can do it again sometime down the road.
Okay. Well, thanks, guys.
We would love to.
Yeah.
Take care.
You have a good night, and talk to you soon, of course.
It's great seeing you. We'll talk soon. Bye.
It was great to have Annette on the show tonight. I've enjoyed it.
It was. Me too.
Yeah.
That was great. And
yes,
she
it
does.
was.
She is an advocate, for these missing people, and she's got that passion and drive, and she does a great job at what she's doing. So.
Right.
Yeah. She came up here. We had a balloon release for Lucas a couple years ago, and Annette came up here for that. And then not this past January, but the January before, we had a vigil for Megan's birthday, and Annette did. She came up and did a story on that, and so we've definitely spent some time together and communicate. I would say often, but not every day, but enough, I guess. So she's definitely a great one.
Yeah, she is. All right, and hopefully she can join us again in the future, because I know there's some other cases out there that I'd like to visit with her on when more information comes out and stuff, and
That'd be great.
just waiting for some announcements and stuff. Hopefully it'll come soon, but
yes.
anyway.
That'd be great.
All right. Should we get back to the cases at hand?
Yes.
And let's see. This one is Anita C. Webb Phillips. This is an unsolved homicide. She was in northwest Kansas City, Missouri, mother of 3. Her charred body was discovered at a park near Ridge Avenue and South 13th Street in Kansas City, Kansas. Her body was discovered after an identified person put the fire out. The person then called Kansas City, Kansas police. Anita was likely involved in prostitution at that time. Anita was known as a good person that was making bad choices. She was fun to be around and enjoyed life. If you have any information regarding her case, please call the Kansas City, Kansas Police Department at 913-596-3000 or the TIPS hotline at 816-474-8477. And you can see there that's photo of Anita and a photo of where her body was located. You can see the charred ground kind of in the lower center portion of that photo there.
Yeah, how sad.
Yeah, the person that found her body actually came up on her body while it was still actively burning and put the fire out. So.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah. That's sad. That's tragic.
Terrible.
Yeah, and then the next woman is actually Anita's sister, and her name is Kathy L. Webb. If I can get her flyer up there. There we go. Let's see. Her body was found by teenagers driving on Cement City Road on an intersecting gravel road about halfway between the Missouri Portland Cement Company and Missouri 291 near railroad tracks, the remote area of Sugar Creek, Missouri on January 15th, 1988. So 12 years before Anita was murdered, her sister was murdered. Autopsy results indicated that Kathy died from a blow to the head. She also had multiple superficial wounds. Some were described as punctures to her side and right side of her torso. The weapon used was never identified or recovered. There was no evidence of a sexual assault as Kathy was found fully clothed in a blue jean jacket and blue jeans. Robbery didn't appear to be the motive for Kathy's murder. She still had cash in her pocket, but no identification on her, and she was still wearing a gold chain. At the time of her murder, Kathy was 5 months pregnant. Last contact that she had was a phone call she made to her sister between 5:30 p.m. and 6 p.m. asking her sister to pick up her daughter from a babysitter who lived near Kathy's apartment. If you have any information on her case, please call the Sugar Creek, Missouri Police Department at 816-252-7058 or the TIPS hotline at 816-474-8477. And just a tragic deal. I mean, the one sister murdered in 1988 and the other one murdered in 2000. I mean, 12 years apart. Same day, on the same day in the same month, January 15th. Same day, same month, 12 years apart.
That's terrible.
Very odd, very odd. And I would really like to see, resolution in their cases, because that's just a very, very tragic situation.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
I don't know if I call that coincidence or not.
I don't know.
I don't know. Also, my sister, I
Sherry
love and
Hicks.
missed you, Sherry.
Sherry Hicks, yeah. Annette, you're very welcome, and thanks for being on tonight. It was great having you as our first guest. Okay, do we want to recap Desiree and Nori again real quick?
Mm-hmm.
Get Desiree back up there again.
There we go.
All right.
Okay, Desiree Ann Ferris went missing from Liberty, Missouri on May 1st of 2017. Desiree was 18 years old at the time of her disappearance. She would now be 21 years old. She is 5'1", weighs approximately 101 pounds, has brown hair and brown eyes. There is a reward up to $12,500 for any information leading to the arrest and conviction of the person or persons responsible for Desiree's disappearance. If you have any information, please call Liberty, Missouri Police Department at 816-439-4701 or 816-474-8477. Or you can message Ricky's page, Kansas Missing and Unsolved, or you can message our search group page, Missing in Kansas, Megan's Voice.
Yeah, we'll make sure it gets to where it needs to get to.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
And
I know
are we ready
there's-
for Nori?
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, I would like to see Desiree's case get a resolution. I really would.
Me too. Me too. Nori Jenkins went missing from Topeka, Kansas on July 20th in 1986. She was 51 years old. She would now be 85. She is 5'2", weighs approximately 115 pounds. She has black and gray hair and brown eyes. If you have any information regarding her disappearance, please call Topeka, Kansas Police Department at 785-368-9247, 785-368-9551, or 785-368-9200, or KBI at 785-296-4017.
Yes.
Nori did walk away from the Topeka State Hospital, and previous to the day that she disappeared, she had been homeless, and she does have mental issues. So,
right.
if you have any information, please.
They say that she
reach
was
out.
living under bridges also.
Yes, I did read that.
Yeah, and she does
Yes.
apparently have a scar in her left eyebrow, and reportedly doesn't have any teeth.
Okay, I didn't
So-
know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Sherry Hicks, thank you for everything you do for my family.
You're very welcome, Sherry.
Welcome.
Yeah, hopefully we can get some answers for you. That's our goal.
Yes.
Yes. That was a pretty good show tonight. I was happy with it.
It was
Having
a
Annette
great
on,
show.
and hopefully we can have more guests like that in the future. That would be really awesome to do.
I
Get some,
agree.
we're thinking about maybe family members of missing persons, or maybe law enforcement people or something like that. Maybe, and it's still kind of in the planning stages, but hopefully we can do that again
Right.
soon.
I've got lots of them lined up that we could have. So
Good.
from victims of or families of victims, law enforcement.
Good deal.
Yep. So we
Good
can
deal.
have guests for years to come.
Good deal. Right. Well, hopefully everybody out there, you guys have any comments, suggestions, anything, any cases that you may want us to cover, let us know, message us or drop a comment under the show tonight, and we'll get it, we'll get them on the show as quickly as we can get them on there.
Yes.
And thank everybody tonight for joining us, and be careful out there in that wind. It's pretty vicious, and it's supposed to be that way
brutal.
for most of the night. And they were talking possible power outages and things
Yes.
like that. I've been lucky up here so far, nothing yet. So we'll see what
same
happens.
here. Same. No, it was a great show, and thank you everybody for your support. And we do have some new exciting things coming in the future. So when we're able to share those with y'all, then we will do so. But
yeah, stay tuned for that.
Yeah, it's nothing but good, positive, exciting things. So
Yeah, definitely.
we're pretty excited.
Yeah.
So thanks everybody for your support, and keep sharing those flyers. If you need assistance or just want help in searching for a friend or a family member, please reach out to and see if the producers can put my search group up. There you go. Missing in Kansas, Megan's Voice. Please don't hesitate to reach out to us.
Right.
Do you have anything else? And thanks, a special thanks again to Annette for joining us, and
Yeah.
we'll have more guests in the future.
Yeah, just everybody out there, just stay safe and be careful and have a good
Mhm.
night and watch out for each other. Yeah, just take
Yes,
care of each other out there.
please do. Yes, take great
Mhm.
care of each other. Stay
Yeah.
positive if you can too.
Yep.
There's a lot,
Yeah.
lot of hate going on in the world right now, so try and stay positive.
Yeah. Stay positive, folks. And you guys have a good night. And we will see you a week from this Thursday on the next show.
Yep. Bye. Have a great one, everybody.
Well, I don't think and I thought it, that's different. I said what I said and I meant it, or lamented. Words given weight without thought, and I'm cursing the way that I talk and the way that I ought to be able to pause and to say that the fault can be placed on my arm, to display for assault, to disgrace in this arm. Pray for the day they could wait for the calm. You can't control the storm, only weather it, whether it's 5 weeks and 5 days of rain sideways, or scorched earth, search for death, or water left with all the thorns, with the petals gone, settle on the breath of autumn. If the ground fits, where